stories about her. So come over, baby. We gon' light some candles tonight. Very special. We gon' do whatever you like. Very special. Got some candy, treat it right. Very special. Hope you make the rest of my life. Very special. Very special. All night. Warm bed. It's a little cold on your shoulder. Mama said I would understand when I'm older. In my head, even if you tell me it's over, I'll pretend you told me I'm your own. 'Cause you know this ain't an ordinary love. We got so much history in the stories about love. So come over, baby. We gon' light some candles tonight. Very special. We gon' do whatever you like. Very special. Got your candy chilling on us. Very special. Hope you make the rest of your life. Very special. Very special. All night. I ain't supposed to be with you, that's what everybody gon' tell me. I can't really count on what everybody gon' tell me. She ain't seen a baby in a couple days. And I'm looking my baby right up in his face. Flowers and gifts, restaurants. I swear you buy me anything I want. That's why I'm so quick to put the music over in the center, baby. New York, stand the fuck up. Like my honey's blue. Bad bitches, yeah, I keep them by the two. It's a big difference between me and you. I ain't nothing like you or you. I'm on a whole nother level. These bitches is out of their league. These bitches ain't batting like me. You bitches ain't better than me. You bitches don't count on these bitches can't count. I am not the 1, 2, or the 3. You bitches look up to me. You said you look up to her, but really you look up to me. I can't be playing with niggas. I'm married to G. I got some niggas that do what I say. If I tell them to shoot, they pull up on the 3. When bitches be rapping, I'm laughing. It sound like you trying to me. I'm who you dying to be. When somebody cop all these groupies a ticket, cause I'm who they dying to meet. I'm in the city, I drop a location and all of the killers come out. These niggas be fighting for y'all, but they play the back when them killers is out. When them killers is out, cut them off like the scissors is out. When Bobby touched down, the baddest of bitches is out. Like my honey's blue. Bad bitches, yeah, I keep them by the 2. It's a big difference between me and you. I ain't nothing like you or you. Yo. 888 mil on that new thing. Tied up like my shoestring. Ain't fucking with you bitch niggas, and that's real rap, but I do sing. Make room when I come by. Ain't speaking, I'm dumb high. Just heard niggas got jokes. It's a matter of time before one dies. Them dudes out when them tools out. All 6s like school's out. Niggas know if they talk slick that I'm winning fresh, they'll get chewed out. Them dudes out and them tools out. All 6s like school's out. Niggas know if they talk slick that I'm winning fresh, they'll get chewed out. This shit ain't regular rich, so they end up in the ditch. I'm not a regular bitch, so when niggas see me, they jump on my dick. He not a regular shooter, so when you see me, salute her. Ain't got a knife in my hand, but I'm chopping it up with some niggas who shoot her. Like my honey's blue. Bad bitches, yeah, I keep them by the 2. It's a big difference between me and you. I ain't nothing like you or you. Ask Jay who he married. 80,000 in Paris. Stadiums with Queen B and that selfie got him aggy. These pictures is lightweight. I ain't always at fight weight. Risk game is when ice skate, cause we move work through that tri-state. Cause them boys out and them toys out. Still banging that noise out. You could get it in the wintertime where that Mayweather like Floyd's out. Them boys out and them toys out. Still banging that noise out. You could get it in the wintertime where that Mayweather like Floyd's out. All of these bitches in pocket. I'm about to make a deposit. Tell them to go ahead and gossip as long as your house is the size of my closet. Anybody I call they picks up, even if they was getting their dicks up. These niggas don't make a mix up. Tell them niggas go step they bricks up. Tell them niggas go step they bricks up. Tell them niggas go step they bricks up. Like my honey's blue. Bad bitches, yeah, I keep them by the two. It's a big difference between me and you. I ain't nothing like you or you. When they say she get it from her mama, I'ma say you fucking right. Body build is like done be in the humble type. Tell me, is you down? Cause I'm trying to go up tonight. Pause it, she's left to right. I just want to live in a fantasy. I think we deserve it right. Top of the memories I've ever made in my life. Permanent ecstasy. Ladies is pimps tonight. Living inside a dream. I swear every love is life. I put that on my hood. I look fly, I look good. You can't touch my back, but you could. I look fly, I look too good. Put that on my hood. I look fly, I look good. You can't touch my back, but you could. I look fly, I look too good. I'm so deep in my bag like a grandma with a peppermint. They say, oh, she smell good. That's just cause I'm having sin. Sex game goes stupid, stopping like a toothpick. Man, I tell the truth, your opinion is irrelevant. But I know you think I'm fine. Might be too fine to hit it from behind. Reflection in the mirror, don't decline. I can't even lie. I put that on my hood. I look fly, I look good. You can't touch my back, but you could. I look fly, I look too good. Put that on my hood. I look fly, I look good. You can't touch my back, but you could. I look fly, I look too good. Touch my swag.
What's going on, Consciouz Crew? Hi. Hey, everybody. What is going on? Hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful hump day. You guys, I was experiencing a little bit of deja vu. I don't know why I thought yesterday was Wednesday. I was so convinced that yesterday was Wednesday. Clearly, I've been stuck in a time bubble. But I hope you guys got hiccups as well. I hope you guys are doing well. You guys already know what we're here to get into. Before we go ahead and get into all of the things, I need you guys to go ahead and thumbs up this video. Please make sure that you are subscribed first and foremost. And know that thumbing up a video is one of the most important things you can do here on this platform. Not only does thumbing up help boosts the YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. So when you are thumbing up a video, you are literally knocking on the digital door of another Consciouz Crew member and telling them to get their arses into the sanctuary, okay? Also, make sure that you have all of your notification bells set to all. And shout out to all of the new subbies, honey, all right? And thank you to all of the haters for the free for promotion. We need you, okay? So keep running those dick suckers, honey. Keep me on billboards. Keep me in lights out here in these streets. So, because, you know, all things work in the favor of a badass bitch, all right? With no further ado, let's go ahead and pooch on where it is, on through, okay?
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, we are back. Let me speak to some of you guys coming into the sanctuary. What's going on, Classy Queen? Hey, Boo. Hey, Ray. Hey, Intersex. Hey, Auntie Trisha. What's going on, Viper? Hey, Sherry. What's going on, Purple? Hey, Boo. What's going on, Zekrin's View? Hey, Love. Hey, Rumors and Tea. All of my moderators in the building. What's going on, Ladaya? Hey, babes. Love you as well. What's going on, Sam? Hey, Miss Mika. What's going on? It's me, Lisa Lee. Hey, boo. What's going on, Amy? Hi. What's going on, Marlon Bob? I had a passenger on my flight yesterday. I thought it was you. Why you thought the passenger was me? Were they slim in the waist, fat ass, and cute in the face? That's the only way it could be me. Were they slim in the waist, fat in the ass, and cute in the face? Marlon, okay? What made you think that the passenger on the flight was me, love? What is going on, Fanika? Hey, love, with your pretty self. Same to you. What's going on, Desmond? Hey, Positive Vibes. Hi, CJ. Hey, Latoya. What's going on, the Crazy Conway crew? Hey, boo. What's going on, Cats Meow? Hi, Kesha. Hey, T-Talk with Shay. What's going on, love? Hey, TST. Hey, Bill. What's going on, baby mother Kiwana? What's going on, Michael Day? Thank you so much. Hi, Sharon. What's going on, Zim? There's a lot of y'all in the building, so I ain't gonna be able to speak to everybody, but hey, everybody. It was the hair, the clothes, the slick bob. You know, we sit in trends, B.O.B. So they thinking you Bob. Stop playing, nigga. You know that I'm known for the Bob. Hi, y'all. Hey, Tracy. All right, so we got a lot to get into. I don't want to keep you guys long. What's going on, Tristan? Hi. Oh my God. Also, I forgot. I'm so glad I looked at my phone. Shout out to baby mother Cheryl for the old nasty piece of cash app. Yeah. Thank you, baby mother Cheryl. Also, thank you, Viper, who cashed at me your old nasty child support payment yesterday, honey. And the nigga wasn't even live, okay? Shout out to my baby mother, Viper. Shout out to Cheryl, okay? Also, there was one more person, I think. And Angela as well. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all down boots. God bless y'all 10 times over. All right, so let's go ahead and get into some things. First thing I want to open up with you guys is, of course, news that we can appreciate over here at the Consciouztv Kingdom, girl, which is Miss Blueface, honey, Krishan Rock's dilapidated baby father. Okay, he has been arraigned and prosecuted, but not as dramatically as some of us would probably prefer at this point. Okay, you guys know that we reported either a few months ago or last year that Blueface was involved in a Las Vegas shooting that resulted in a female fan being jumped, having her phone knocked out of her hand, stomped out by Chrisean Rock and Blueface's team. Then there was an incident that took place outside. Matter of fact, no, these are two separate incidences, okay? Then there's an incident that took place in Vegas that resulted in Blueface shooting at some guy who him and his clique were in rival with, okay? I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the article and let it break it down to you. At that point in time, Blueface was facing prison time, girl. But, of course, when you're famous and you're wealthy, okay, there's really no such thing as consequences. So what I want to go ahead and do is move over to Miss Rolling Stone and show you guys what's going on with Blueface. All right, hold on, and thumbs up as you guys are coming into the sanctuary. All right, courtesy of Rolling Stone. Blueface gets 3 years probation after pleading guilty in shooting case, okay? Blueface will spend up to 3 years on probation after pleading guilty to charges related to an October 2022 shooting outside of a Las Vegas strip club. The rapper's real name, Jonathan Porter, was originally arrested last November on charges of attempted murder with a deadly weapon and discharging a firearm at and into an occupied structure. That would be a vehicle. The attempted murder charge was eventually dropped as part of the plea deal, with Porter pleading guilty to battery and the discharging of a firearm in July. According to KTNV in Las Vegas, the rules of Porter's probation forbid alcohol or drugs, possessing weapons, or contacting the weapon. He'll also have to avoid the Las Vegas Strip as well as the city's downtown area unless it's for work-related purposes. Porter's lawyer, Christina M. Wildevale, said in a statement, quote, "This morning, Mr. Porter was sentenced to probation not to exceed 3 years, and he has the ability to earn a reduction to a gross misdemeanor charge upon successful completion of his probation. We were pleased that the court followed the negotiations of the parties in this matter. Mr. Porter is ultimately just looking forward to getting back to focusing on his alleged music career and moving forward with his raggedy tied ass life." Wildevale did note that there was a strange moment during the sentencing hearing Monday, October 2nd. Quote, "The complaining witness raised his phone to take a selfie with Mr. Porter from the lectern as he was finishing his victim impact statement," she said. "That was a first for us in our decades of litigation and advocacy." All right. So some people are, of course, disappointed, girl, by this here news because, you know, Blueface recently took his BS to the next level by publishing images of his son's genitals to the World Wide Web, which also led to his baby mother, Chrisean Rock, threatening to press charges, which has resulted in them both allegedly being investigated by CPS. Now, I think that this is absolutely absurd. You guys already know how I feel about this. I reported on this a few months ago. You shot a firearm into a occupied vehicle that could have led not only to the death of the driver, but injuring that driver in that way could have also led to a major road accident that could have led to the injuries and fatalities of other people on the road. Okay, he shot through the door of the vehicle, hitting this man. All right. So the fact that this young delinquent, who is no different than Tory Lanez on paper, who has a history of abuse and violence against women and men, both Chrisean Rock and outsiders, who shot a firearm and could have killed somebody or bodies, was able to get in court and have pretty much a slap on the wrist, okay? Stay away from drugs and alcohol. You can't carry your weapon, and stay away from the victim. And yeah, you might want to stray away from the Vegas Strip. I would feel completely and utterly insulted if I was this individual, if I was the victim in this case. And then to add insult to injury, bitch, you, upon successful completion of 3 years worth of probation, get to have your firearm charges and all of that reduced to a misdemeanor. My God, today, nigger on nigger crime really is meaningless in the white man's criminal justice system. But that's another story for another day. Now, as you guys know, toward the end of that article, it noted that the victim raised up his phone and took a picture of Blueface and his lawyer standing behind him. That also went viral. You know, I'm team victim in this case. You know, if you're gonna pop me in my ass, the least you can do, bitch, is give me a selfie. All right, if I'm gonna get popped in my ass by a raggedy celebrity, the least you can do is give me a photo op, okay? Something to memorialize. Hell, even autograph it. How about that, bitch? Autograph the bullet while you're at it. Okay, let's really, you know, give me my juice out of this fucking fruit. All right? So, the victim was in court clowning a clown. I think it was appropriate. The criminal justice system just played in the victim's face. So, yeah, you know, why not pussy pop? Why not make an entire mockery of this thing? Because it's not like we're here litigating over the fact that this man could have killed me. This man could have unalived me. This man could have put me in heaven early. So why should I take the matter seriously? Why should I have any less energy, okay, or any less smoke than the courts and these lawyers and the DA and the prosecutors are going to be? And as It's Me Lisa said, a civil suit should follow. So I hope the victim is lawyered up, okay, and head that ass right on into the civil court. Get your millions, honey, okay, make it do what it do. And I also think it's fascinating that just like in the Onika threesome, Kenneth Petty drama at this year's VMAs led to the immediate arrest and arraignment of Kenneth Petty being put on house arrest. It's very interesting how Blueface has been reprimanded after this whole debauchery with his son. And just like in Kenneth and Onika's situation, I have to point out here that I think we're getting some warning shots from the universe, from the multiverse. What's going on, Divine Fleming? I think we're getting, you know, some heed to the warning. Okay, I think this is the universe revving up its engine, letting these nigglets know that their time is ticking down. And if they don't wake the fuck up, the universe is going to put their ass into a permanent sleep nonetheless, okay? Whether that's the canceling of their careers, whether that's prison time, whether that's, being in that old nasty piece of coffin, honey. Y'all see the universe been on hoes' necks lately, girl, okay? Court cases after court cases, girl. People dropping dead left and right, girl. This is not the time to be playing around, okay? So even though this is not related to the baby genital situation that took place, I am happy that there is some pushback. There's a smidget bit of accountability. And if we get lucky, Blueface will more than likely fuck up his probation, as all raggedy tied ashy simps do. So I don't see him successfully completing 3 years of probation, especially not the way that Zeus has Crazy in Love set up, with it encouraging debauchery and bad behavior and violence, etc. So I'm sure Blueface will find himself in some predicament between now and 3 years from now that will put his ass right back before the courts and probably have him penalized in a greater way. All right. Now, before we move on into our main headline, you guys also know that my beautiful Consciouz Crew member Viper also created a petition as a result of us having a conversation a few days ago about stopping Black blogs from force feeding us the Krishan Rock and Blueface agenda, okay? At a time where Black femicide is at an all-time high, I don't think this is appropriate to glamorize, even in some under the guise of entertainment, the violence against Black children, the violence against Black women, etc. And the fact that the Shade Room and Neighborhood Talk are literally like skull fucking us with the Krishan Rock Blueface drama is insane, especially at the expense of a child who's being completely exploited, who's being thrown in the mix of all of this. And I know that capitalism is a real thing and people will do anything for a buck, but all money isn't good money. And just like we sat Erica Mena ass down and y'all set Funkin' Da Diva down, I think that we need to use that same power of the culture to speak with our subscription, with our support to these institutions and networks that don't know how to differentiate the difference between entertainment and content that is explicitly abusive, okay? So if you have not signed the petition, okay, to move and motivate Black blogs from participating in exploiting Black and brown people, then please go over to change.org, which I'm going to put the link in the description box below, as well as in the stream. And please share this petition out. All right, share it multiple times a day. Share it all over your social medias. Share it to your Instagram, your Insta story. Make sure you tag me. Share it on Facebook, honey, Snapchat. I don't give a damn where you lay the link, okay? Just let them whores know that we tired, all right? And if these Black folk gonna destroy each other and they're going to exploit and endanger the life of a Black child, they need to go do that privately. We don't need to be on the journey to trauma with these folk. Ain't no need for us all to end up in the trauma category, okay? As a result of having to bear witness to this mess, which only leaves the viewing audience and consumers in a state of powerlessness, a state of vulnerability, and a state of anxiety, because there's not really much that any of us can do from here, okay? I think it's completely divisive and it's ridiculous. And the fact that there even has to be petitions made, okay, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Daughter, against these powers that be who you would think would know better, says a lot about where we are as a community. It says a lot about where Black media is, which is at an all-time motherfucking low. All right, so please share. Tell your favorite content creators to share the petition out, to sign the petition. You know, y'all make it do what it do. Cycle that thing around and around and around and around we go. What's going on, Styles by Stevie? Hi. Now, moving along, let's get into our main subject here, girl, which you all may or may not know that y'all's favorite bald-headed sister in Christ, Unhinged with Budweiser K, reached out to her former mentee after 2 years of dragging this man and calling him everything under the sun, girl, from a pedo to a murderer, girl, to a baby unaliver, to a abuser sympathizer child. I mean, there was nothing that Storm Monroe was not, all right? You guys saw all of the drama play out and break down on my platform, girl, for months and months on end. It was a shit show. And then you guys know that that shit show eventually put me in a position to sever my ties with Unhinged and Sledgehammer Head, okay? Who just had this knack for maintaining the state of chaos online for no reason, even after months and months and months of this situation being over and damn done. So I put a fork in both of their asses and threw them to the trash bin. What's going on? The doctor! I am listening while I am showering. Yes, I am way late. I've been busy all AM, but I am listening. Hey, doctor. Okay, who's showering? That booty crack, child. Getting up in them nooks and crevices, child. All right, shower it down, Dr. Reid. Hey, y'all. So there's all of that's been going on. Well, after KB Studios collapsed, girl, after the apocalypse took her out, and she was left to a forehead and a weave, child, and she had to enter into bankruptcy court. And after she tried to get Von Ray locked up because she was going to utilize me and Storm to spread a false narrative about Von Ray that he had sexually assaulted Sledgehammer Head, which turned out to not be true at all. Okay, that resulted in me making Von Ray aware of what Unhinged and Sledgehammer Head was attempting to do. All right. After all of that, child, Unhinged reached out and emailed Storm. Now, Storm did reach out to me before he ended up doing his commentary, and we had a dialogue about this email and my thoughts, which I'm going to share today, okay? And I'm going to read you all the email. And of course, Storm has already publicly spoken about this, so you can find his commentary over there on the Storm Monroe channel. All right. Now, Unhinged emailed Storm and said this. Okay, I'm just going to read the email straight through, then I'll give y'all the breakdown. Okay. She said to Storm on September the 28th through a Google email that I saw your interview with Jaguar Wright's mother, Essie Berry, okay, which obviously was shade to Essie Berry because I don't know who the hell Essie Berry is, but when Storm told me about the email and sent me the screenshots, I actually thought Essie Berry was Jaguar Wright's biological mother. I did not know that had happened, okay, but apparently she's not Jaguar's mother. That was just Unhinged being shady boots, okay? She goes on to say that I listened to everything, although some of that ish is out there, but I digress. Out there just like her $3.8 million debt. Question, she says, with knowing all of that, why did I not know how you felt when you started to feel some type of way? I can't read minds. As you can see, I'm a straightforward person. I say what's on my mind. Why not extend me the same courtesy so that I may fix an issue? Instead of labeling me a narcissist, I can't fix what I don't know. But instead, you expected me to read minds or feelings, ? All right. Now, Storm decides that he wants to entertain the sued blogger, okay? So he gives a nasty PowerPoint presentation that reads accordingly. Hey, when you say me feeling some type of way, which time and incident, ? I recall one video call with you and your African husband regarding the issues with the show, talking about his show and talking about, at that time, the Light Skinned Niggas podcast, starring him and Von Ray, that Unhinged felt was problematic because it was a boys club and they were, doing and talking about all things patriarchal and toxic in its masculinity, okay? He goes on to say, and again, at the West African restaurant in Decatur, the spring of 2020. I think that was after you and your African husband's anniversary trip to Tennessee. In that conversation, we talked over issues with the show, and you very much so involved in my personal life. I would never expect you to read minds. That's not fair to you. But to be honest, in the beginning, I was so out of touch with my own emotions, I didn't even know how I felt about certain things until later. As far as fixing issues, we really didn't have that many issues. A lot of things were just miscommunications. We didn't know each other that well before working with one another, and didn't have a lot of time to interact once I moved to Atlanta. As far as staying quiet about certain things, I will admit it's a character flaw of mine. I am able to smile in someone's face, even if I hate their guts, to get what I need out of them or the situation. Or to think of it this way, I don't have to say everything that's on my mind, versus some folks that once it's on their mind, is coming out of their mouth. Keep this in mind too. When you invited me into your circle, you were in the power position. So I knew I had to move with caution with every interaction, conversation, text, email that we had, because it had the potential to be exposed. All right. I also knew that no matter what you do, how you move, or how you go, because you are a Black woman, the audience will sympathize with you and villainize me if I match your level of disrespect. Now, if I was a gay man, shout out to CTV, you know, I'd be a little bit different. But at the end of the day, you are still a woman, must be treated as such. And that was always in the back of my mind. Like, you are able to lose your shit, cuss a bitch out, and then the next day say you were emotional. I'm a man, so I don't have that kind of grace. Not complaining, it's just how we are socialized. So for years, I allowed the fear of having my subscribers turn against me to keep me in line until I felt comfortable that they truly fucked with me and not unhinged case mentee. Keep in mind, I had to fight for years to prove online that I am not a colorist, woman hater, elitist, etc. Ultimately, as I saw, working with you on a podcast was a dead end. I doubled down on my own platform and enjoyed doing my own thing, grew tremendously, and created my own tribe, just like you have. But I can see how that would be interpreted as me flipping the script on you. That took time, effort, and a lot of work, which I'm not afraid of nor complaining about. But that was eventually going to cause us to bump heads, as I wanted to grow one way, and you have had other ideas for me. FYI, every man wants his own thing that he is in control of, and we will always bump heads. If you get in the way of that, because I am going to do and be myself regardless of what anyone else thinks. They say hindsight is 20/20, and I don't think I am meant to be a part of a team. I like to do my own thing, run my own show as I wish, move as I please in my personal life, and I should have been honest with myself before agreeing to work with you instead of just going along to get along because I needed the money at the time. I still feel everything we did could have been done via Skype. I did not need to relocate my whole life to a place I did not want to be, around a crowd I wouldn't be around in real life. And we would probably still be cool to this day. I should have just paid for a few extra consultations with you, maybe visited ATL ever so often, and left it at that. But a wise woman once told me to never dwell, so it is what it is. But most of all, I still want to say thank you. Not just for YouTube co-sign, but for opening up my eyes to different lanes of entrepreneurship. I've always had an entrepreneurship spirit, but I just didn't know anyone in that space, or that was possible. Now, out of everything you said, insinuating that I was a pedo and trashing my mother is what took the cake for me. It's a lot of things I can look past, but to me, that was just super foul. But as you would say, you just a Florida bitch, and when y'all get mad, nothing is off limits. I'm glad these allegations did not stick, but it definitely was not funny at the time. Anyway, this is getting long, but I just wanted to respond to you. Hope all is well. All right. Now, Unhinged responded back and said, I read everything, and it's obvious there was a lot of factors to take into consideration from both sides. And it's honestly a lot to unpack and discuss. It's the past. I just wanted to know why I wasn't informed, and I get why you held in a lot. Storm, please don't ever say that I never wanted you to do your own thing. I brought you in to support me, and the same, build yourself up, and I helped you with that. I'm still learning a lot as I go on how to balance being a leader and balancing work life with a public figure. I appreciate the honest feedback and wish you the absolute best, as I always believed you would. Praying emojis. Storm writes back, received. If you want the public to know that we communicated or not, let me know. Not to be messy, but just to move on from the situation. All right. She responded with, I'm good if you're good, or whatever you want to do. Okay. Concluded. I want to also shout out to my baby mother Dominique for the nasty piece of Cash App, chat. Thank you. So, my question to you all is, first and foremost, girl, what are y'all thoughts? I'm interested in what you all think. First and foremost, what are y'all thoughts about Unhinged reaching out to Storm Monroe after all this time, after attempting to do all of this damage to his reputation and being triggered by him bringing up their situation in a conversation with another content creator, and her wanting him to understand that she always wanted what's best for him, and that she felt she never got a genuine opportunity to confront any of the issues in their relationship because he kept a lot of things in and was passive aggressive. What do you all think? I'm just curious, girl, before I snatch y'all wig, honey. Cause y'all know I got third eye, baby. Okay, it's third eye teens. Okay, y'all know, honey. Nothing is quite what it seems on the surface. So let me read some of these comments. Art by Ani says, Z's, honey, sleeping emojis, period. Hey, Chef Don Don. Hey, boo. Dominique says, laughing my ass off. She said, being a leader, right, girl? I gagged all night, okay, on the word leader. Viper says she's not a leader. She really thinks highly of herself, okay? Chantel says, hovering, okay, which is a term used in narcissistic circles by narcissistic abuse victims, okay? Gray rocking, hovering, etc. These are all terms that we use, you know, in those communities. What's going on, Satan James, who says she's desperate, okay? But Rezi is pretty hopeful. Rezi says this was maturity on both sides. Meg says ain't no good after all of that. Ray says she's trying to cover her ass. She talked with Shay, says I think it's an honest exchange, but Unhinged still never took accountability for what she said about his mom. Gemini says don't trust her, she's sneaky. Chef Don Don says I wouldn't trust her at all. The cat then said she's up to something, okay? Crystal says she was looking for a fight, but he flipped it. Rumors in T says Trashy K is out here like the bishop trying to get on interviews with someone in an attempt to clean up her image. All right. Aaron says, I think there's more to her reaching out. I am suspicious. Okay. So you guys are sounding off. Auntie Trisha says, why not apologize or repent for being insecure live? Okay. RB says, I think Trasha is mentally unstable. I'm being so serious. Amy says, if she did, she really didn't show it, especially with how she did him. So she can miss me with all of that. All right. So the opinions are opinioning in the chat. Hey, Laroon says her lawyer told her when he sue, hell win. So here she go. Classic Queen says, my thoughts. What is manifesting in a person to make them want to continually self-sabotage? What's the root cause of all of these broken relationships? Look deeper, Unhinged, okay? Cosmic Sun says, it's going to be hard to trust. She's a lonely hoe. Oh, my goodness. All right. Okay, so at first glance, you know, there are some people who are going to buy this. There are some people who are going to, you know, maybe take this as, oh my God, what an honest and human, vulnerable version of unhinged. All right, here it is. She's open, she's confused, she's hurt, she's dazzled and dizzy, she's frizzy headed. Okay, this is a stark contrast to the usually I have it all together and bankruptcy isn't even a sweat off my forehead version of the unhinged blogger. All right, but upon a deeper look, there is something much deeper going on here. Larry says he disarmed a reach out that was for personal reasons. I wouldn't have responded. Okay. Now check this, y'all. This email was loaded and atypical of narcissistic movement. Okay. Now check how Storm clocked her toward the end of the email by reminding her that you said some really egregious, felony, ratchet, terrible things that could have, in another universe where I'm not covered by every witch, wizard, and sorcerer and 7-day candle bitch, that could have resulted in the destruction of myself. Okay. Called me a pedo, a baby unaliver, a abuser sympathizer, etc. Larry also said, I just heard from Storm last week. What day did she email him? This email was the 28th. Yep, September the 28th was the email. All right. But look at how when she responded, she didn't even say she's sorry. She never apologized for calling him a pedo. She never apologized for all of the ish she spoke about his mother. She never apologized for trying to weaponize him in a fake ass plot against Von Ray. She never, ever took responsibility for any of that. That's worth mentioning. Okay, never even acknowledged it. Never said, you know what, Storm, I'm sorry, I was out of order, I was unhinged, I didn't go sit down with Clyde or Rufus, you know, our therapist, you know, I was off my meds, off my weed, you know, I wasn't in a medically induced coma at the time, so you know, I just didn't know any better, sugar. You know, I'm deeply sorry, and I will take to the same platform that I used to smear you, and I will make an open apology, okay? Because the reality is I love you, and you are a great addition to my team, and I'm proud of you, and I hate that everything between us went so left, and I take responsibility for escalating things and taking it way too far, and I can be a woman, okay, who owes Cardi B $3.8 million and admit to that and publicly, you know, exonerate you in that way, okay? Larry also says he can forgive her, but he can't retire being she did what she did to him publicly with those accusations. So that was what Unhinged didn't say, okay? Now, also, I want you guys, because this is low-key a little, you know, 1-2 class in recognizing narcissism at its best. Notice how Unhinged tried to frame the email exchange and the motivation for the exchange to this genuine, I'm confused, I just want to know. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to click my damn stuff off. Larry, if you want the link, if you want to come up and say some things, I can text you the link. Just let me know in the chat. This is a little 1-2 on how to clock narcissism. Despite her trying to frame this motivation to reach out under the guise of I'm just genuinely concerned and I just have questions and I just notice how her real motivation was to control Storm's perception and experience of her. She didn't give a damn about the way Storm was actually treated, the way he was done, her behavior toward him, and she damn sure wasn't genuinely confused about why he could not bring his inner feelings to the table and give her a so-called opportunity. It had nothing to do with that. This whole fucking email was about her feeling a way about the fact that he has the audacity to hold a attitude and perception about her that's incongruent and inconsistent with the narrative, the delusional narrative she has about herself. Okay? She went in for her sake. She went into this email for her sake, not his. This wasn't about their relationship. This wasn't about what had become undone. This was about the fact that he made statements in his interview with Miss Ezzy, and those things did not sit right with her. And so she went in to put the screwdriver into his brain to adjust his attitude accordingly to how she would have him experienced her. Now, the gag about all that is, at the time that all of this was going down, because y'all know I was fighting tooth and nail for these folk. Fighting tooth and damn nail for these folk, honey. These folk had me online for hours, for days on end, and then had me tied up personally on the damn phone with them dealing with all of this. I had so many conversations with Unhinged about, because I knew what type of personality type Storm had. I told her, I said, you could tell that Storm, to his point, is a bit more on the introverted side. He doesn't seem to have a lot of experience with interpersonal relationships. You having this expectation that he could just talk to you in a flippant, fluid, naked way and bare his soul, considering what your persona is, considering how messy and egotistical you are, you really didn't give him a lot of reasons to even feel comfortable enough to be transparent with you, for one. Okay? But on top of that, I kept telling her, hey, you are the one in this instance who is more ballsy, more vocal. So you should just lead him into this private dialogue and have this transparent and open exchange. Unhinged was not here for it. Fuck him, I don't give a damn. He know better, how dare he? I don't give a all the bravado, baby. Okay? All the bravado. Okay? She didn't give a damn about the personality differences. She had no interest in listening to Storm. She had no interest in having a dialogue. She wasn't willing to consider why he was handicapped in this way, etc. It once again was all about Miss Unhinged and her feelings. Okay. Now Larry says it's great to forgive folk, but self-respect demands lines of demarcation. When you know the person that harmed you hasn't had comprehensive change, and show remorse and repair for what they did. Agreed. So, in all things she said all of nothing to Storm. The email was about her, of course, as it is about all narcs, okay? She did not apologize to Storm at all for all the things that she said publicly about him and his family, for two, okay? And despite her asking why he never so-called opened up to her, despite the fact that he reminded her that we have had multiple conversations And he called out times and locations where we have had dialogue, which then tells me that it's not that Storm never opened up to you, is that you never listened when he did, sugar. And that's a part of the no accountability taken here. You never actually listened when there was exchange, when there was dialogue, when you all were at the table discussing your feelings, his feelings, etc. And you're still here today in this tired-ass email from September the 28th, making it all about you and controlling other people's experience. And rather than defending yourself, Unhinged, because I know that you don't clearly have any emotional intelligence. Your emotional IQ is like shot to hell. You have a negative F, girl, on the grades paper. You don't really get it, okay? But in emotional maturity, these are opportunities for you to actually listen to the people around you who have to experience you, rather than you defending their experience. Listen for the information. And if people are telling you about yourself, they're calling you out on your behavior patterns. They're calling you out on your pathologies. They're calling you out on your ego. They're calling you out on whatever the hell they're calling you out on. Rather than knucking a bucking against that, which is what immature ass, narcissistic driven people do, you listen when you really care about a relationship. You listen when you really care about the way that other people are experiencing you. You don't rush to defend yourself against people's experience. You take that information in, you assess it, you take it into your vault of data, you do that introspective thing, you go down the rabbit hole, you spit out whatever you may think is the bone, take the fucking meat, and you make amends and come full circle. That's what's required of relationships for them to thrive, is everybody has to be willing to be humbled and to consider the perspective and the vantage point of the people that they're actively involved with. Okay? But of course you felt the shit out of that, okay? Now, a lot of people may be asking, why is it that Unhinged reached out? What is this about? Aside from her getting her narcissistic, self-indulgent rocks off, you know, wanting to control Storm's narrative about her, I find it timely. You know I'm a teach doctor. Hold on, y'all. I'm about to text the doctor the link in case he want to pull up, because y'all asking for the doctor to pull up, and he down there teaching as well, honey. The teachers are teaching, honey. So I'm gonna give him the link just in case he got a few minutes and he wants to chime in on this. Give me 1 minute, girl. That I'm gonna give y'all the kicker as to why she really reached out to Storm, honey, and why she was really triggered by that conversation with him and Ezzy. How doing? And I'm gonna tell you something. What I'm doing, I'm gonna tell you something about me and Larry, girl. Me and Larry are able to have some of the most, I appreciate the level of dialogue and the way we engage each other when it comes to dealing with anything that may come up between he and I. Larry doesn't get caught up in his money. He don't get caught up in his ego. He knows who he is in relationship to and not in relationship to. And he is able to be somebody that has all that he has and still be a introspective, humble person, which has been able to lead to a lot of breakthrough conversations between he and I. And there's a level of trust and safety and heart to heart that's able to exist, okay? In those dialogues. And that is something that you don't really find between folk. And you know, the only way I know how to be in relationships is honest. I also understand that I have to be open to critique. I have to be open to observation, etc. And when you have all parties who are aligned in principle that way, that's when your relationships, your friendships, etc. can thrive. Okay, it does require that from both sides. Larry, I just text you in case you wanted to come up and speak to some of the things that you are laying it down in the chat. Hey, Storm. Storm says, lovely. Yes, Larry, it's lovely to talk to. Oh, what's my, hold on, my damn stream is moving slow. Hold on. And I'm not even just talking about just, okay, let me know, Storm, when you are at the airport. Once I get to the airport, if you still, how far are you from the airport? I can probably extend the dialogue and open up the stream a little bit to give you some time to pull through. Okay, I would, hold on, y'all. Once I get airport, I would, okay, I'm about to text. Okay, I just text you the StreamYard link. So I'll extend the show and everything so we can get you know, all necessary parties up. So this is the kicker. Why did Unhinge, why did she reach out? 6 minutes away. Okay, gotcha, Storm. Why did she reach out? I want y'all to see this way. You got to get your nosology on. Okay, this one you got to get to put in shit together, because nothing happens in a vacuum and nothing happens in vain. Now check this. It's mighty coincidental, and you know I'm a mystic. There's no such thing as coincidences. All roads lead to truth. Okay. Unhinged just had this entire meltdown regarding having her interview with Joe Budden completely strapped, not clean off the hinges. Okay? Y'all know that led to her having some self-loathing issues. Okay? Hey, doctor.
Hey, what's the, let me know if you can hear me or not.
Yes, I hear you loud, live, and in color. Did you want me to finish what I was about to say to completion?
Yeah.
Or just let you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So she had her interview strapped. Okay. Control, Alt, and delete it. And she went on this belligerent rant after pretending to be understanding of Joe Budden's decision. Oh, this is industry protocol, blah, blah, blah. You know, I have interviews I haven't released. I understand. She was doing all of that because she wanted to save face before Cardi B and all of that, because there was a narrative at that time going on that Cardi had expressed some sentiments about this interview, and Unhinged must have thought that those sentiments were actually real. And so,
Oh, you know, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, they're doing the most sunny. So you know, so then she came back, stopped in the middle of Florida ghetto traffic, and then went completely ballistic. Okay, blew the damn windows out of her salvaged vehicle. Okay. Then she came back later that night, girl, and damn near lost her mind, wanted to jump off a cliff, girl. She got into extreme victim mode, and it even concerned some of the winos who sobered up real quick, okay, and was concerned for her mental health. She ended up privating or deleting that video and then making an apology video to her supporters for becoming so unhinged and scaring them to death because they didn't know if she was going to hit a, you know, a Carly Russell girl. They didn't know if she was going to just do something extreme because the meltdown was real. All right. So take that. Then a few days later, she emailed Storm. Okay. And she's having this exchange, wanting to control the narrative. The reason why Unhinged reached out to Storm, the underbelly of the motivation, is the fact that Unhinged got humbled when Joe Budden strapped that interview. Unhinged convinced herself that she was just as important to mainstream media as she is to clout chasing low vibrational YouTubers who are used to kissing her ass, cozying up to her for the sake of her perceived clout, being willing to endure all type of debauchery in the name of a come up. And she confused that with the fact that in the actual industry, the mainstream media, she's completely disposable and dispensable. Okay? That they can do without her. So Joe Budden having the audacity to strap and cancel the interview of a bitch with 1.12 million subscribers. Him having the audacity to actually not publish the woman who did everything she could to align her legacy with Cardi B, who's had all this publicity from Rolling Stone, et cetera, regarding this lawsuit. And you gonna tell me Unhinged with Four Loko K? You gonna tell me, bitch? The mother who just has to enter into the chat of a YouTuber and get them stirred up and excited? You talking about me, who is the queen of YouTube? You gonna strap me, bitch? Oh, baby. Unhinged lost her mind and imploded like the submersible Titan at 1,500 feet of pure Atlantic Aquafina water. Lost her damn mind. Okay? So, as a result of this ego death that Unhinged has experienced as a result of Joe rejecting her, showing her that you're not important to us. Talking to you is here nor there. Being in relationship and business to you is here nor there. That's something that can be or doesn't have to be. Okay, you're not necessary. You don't bring anything necessary to the table. And we can see that from the numbers because she also interviewed on Benzino's podcast, which is only sitting at 53,000 views. So she can't even bring her million nowhere else. It's relative to her, and she don't even do 1 million in runs. So this self-perceived egotism is, or these superpowers that Unhinged has are only relative to YouTube. She now knows that as a result of what Joe did by strapping the interview and saying, you know, I know I wasted my time shooting this. We shot in 6K. They can see all your hyperpigmentation. You know, yeah, we pulled out the cameras. It was last minute. I accommodated it, but you know, scrap it. Can go without it. Now Unhinged thinks what she's about to do is do PR on YouTube because she now knows for a fact this is all she has. She knows for a fact that YouTubers are all she has because this is the only realm she has superpowers in. Her superpowers don't exist outside of this dimension. So now she knows it's in the best interest that she straighten out some of the shit, that she put an eye into some of these relationships to content creators who have reasonable large followings, because she's going to pretty much need them to rally for her because this is where her core work is going to be. She now knows that the industry isn't something that's as promising as she thought it would be because she's living off the heels of Cardi B's legacy and think that means something. Okay, you know what? Means something beyond.
I got to go.
Okay.
You was long-winded.
Welcome to the platform. You know I can get preachy, damn it.
Heck yeah.
But then again, this is my house.
It is your house. I respect that.
But welcome to the platform, Doctor.
Hello, Consciouztv, Davion Augustus. How are you?
Okay, not my government, but how? Doctor. Welcome.
Okay. All right. So this is what I want to discuss about. These things always get foggy. It was interesting to find out about the her Tasha K reaching out to Storm Monroe, being that there you go. What's up, Storm?
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Yeah, I found it interesting that she reached out to you. I mean, being that she done to you the same thing she did to me, probably worse. But from what I know, it sounds like the same thing. And it's just interesting why she would reach out. What I want to say to you, and which I know you already know this, is that it's just I think about when she reached out to me and she called me after she'd already been online saying all sorts and kinds of things and wanted to like approach me for an interview to have with me, while at the same time now I understand she was standing there with the guy that had made all these different accusations. I just don't ever trust any to reach out from her. And I feel like it was for some kind of personal reasons, although I don't hold anything in my heart towards her and have totally forgiven her. I was initially hurt, and then I worked through that, and now I'm at forgiveness, and it is what it is. But I learned something about her is that until she is healed of her own personal trauma and worked through some things, she's not a human. And what the mistake that I would have made and did make is that I thought that certain things she said and done, certain conversations we had, that I was really entertaining a human when I was not. I was entertaining the trauma facade, whatever that was that day. And I never got to her really core root, because there's no way that you can be a friend with somebody who tells you, and first of all, you have known me since 2019. You've been around me. I've been around you. You've been in my home. I've been in your home, and you know me. And you heard me say on that call and other times, this is something that I did not participate in, nothing close. I did not do this. And this is a lie. And then say to me, when you sent an apology, I said, any word I said apologize was for something that relates to all of these members and abandoning them and any feelings they have. That would be taken out of context. She knew all that before she done the first interview. And then to do that, and at the extent she did it, okay, then I clearly was never in a relationship with you, not the human part of you, not your humanity. I was dealing with the trauma facade and whoever you project yourself as at that particular day. So what I was saying, what I was going to say before you got here, Storm, was that I just hope that your humanity, I know you're a nice guy, is that you don't allow that to make you re-embrace somebody who will do the same thing again to you till they're healed.
No. And the funny thing was, like, when I did the live, I think it was yesterday, people was like, oh my God, like, don't go back, don't try to be friends again. I'm like, I never told y'all I was trying to do that. Like, where did I say that at all? I low-key just wanted to be like, look, she's still contacting me first. They always come back. They always fucking do. But yeah, no, there's nothing left there. I left that shit in 2021 or 2022.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Exactly. I don't have any care about that. My lawyers may care and do some stuff, and people talk online. Larry filed, Larry said. That's lawyers lawyering, but I ain't got nothing to do with that. My mind is in something else, doing a whole other thing, and I ain't really concerned about that. I don't wish no harm on her.
Me either.
But I mean, if anybody ever asks me anything about it, I'm gonna say, don't get close to it, don't deal with it, don't put your heart in it, because it's and I hate that time that other person, I know whose name I can't call up here. I think you call him Cyclops. I wouldn't call him that. But when we was up here on your platform, CTV, Chris
call him that.
Huh?
I think God calls him that.
Oh, anyway,
oh my God.
It was Christmas 2020 or something like that. Yep. And we were trying to get him to, forgive.
Everything I did as a friend.
Yeah.
Gave up. Hold on. Let's talk about it. Gave up my Christmas weekend. I'm the one who called the doctor in. I said, hey, this man respects you. Can you?
That's that from the government. Everybody get that.
Oh, everybody getting that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I gave up my Christmas weekend. Okay, all my phones. I got 2 phones.
Let mine gonna do it.
All
Okay.
right, there we go.
It's going down, y'all. They shut the country down, child.
No, I got it on vibrate. It didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I gave up my weekend. My Christmas weekend.
I did too. I got it there for you. But
no, hold on. But who was the one calling you to get you on here to talk him into what he claimed he wanted at the time?
Yeah. But I'm glad. I hate that I participated in that. You know,
why?
I mean, because I was pushing him to have a relationship with somebody that would wound him all over again.
I mean, but you didn't know that because you was also in relationship to her.
Right.
At that point, I was becoming in relationship to her. So my next question to the both of y'all, because I'm sure there were people that want Storm about Unhinged, and I know people want you and I about Unhinged. With you saying what you just said, Doctor, about you would just warn Storm and anybody else coming forward to proceed with much caution. Looking back in retrospect, when other people were saying that to all of us, what's your attitude about that?
Let me say, speak for me. I feel like I was in my ego. I feel like, which all the way up to that point, I had the tendency of being, all the way up until 2022 when it came to interpersonal relationships. I was in my ego because I've been so successful in making people who society threw away, you know, to now become such a contributor to society. So in my ego, I'm like, okay, she did that to y'all. She manifested like this, but I'm not that person. I know how to deal in relationships, and I'm going to repair her. You're all going to see how great of a person that she really is. I was in my ego. That's what I say about me.
And for me, I asked her about all that shit the first day I met her. Like the first day I met her in person, I was like, Tommy Sotomayor says this about you. This person says this person says that. And she had an answer for all that shit.
She had an answer for it, yeah.
She had an answer for all that shit. It was crazy.
Yeah. My attitude is I don't have any regrets about getting to know somebody that I don't know. I wouldn't preconceived judge anybody because I didn't know her from a can of paint on a wall when she pulled up into the CTV multiverse. I left it to her, as I have done with all these content creators, to decide what they want the bed to look like, which is messy and disruptive, or if they want a relationship, because that's how I live in real life. I deal with people at face value. I let them decide what it is. So for me, I don't have any regrets. It is what it is. My next question is, so what
about that before you ask the question? What I want to say is, for me, I'm not having real relationships.
There we go.
I have a real relationship with you, Conscious. I know you better than anybody on YouTube. But I met Storm. I met Armand. Outside of those two, and there's one more, but our relationship isn't public. Then lead attorney. But I only deal with the people who keep our relationship off the internet. You know, I want real relationships. I'm not down with having YouTube friends or anything. Storm is a dope. Armand is dope. Everybody know I've been on Conscious longer than anybody. We have
me and Larry are friends. Get it through y'all heads.
Real life. But
they said I was freaking.
We are friends. We have a friendship.
But I don't blame them for saying that we fucking. I mean,
I wasn't even saying that for that. I was just making a distinction.
I'm
making a distinction between what you got with Storm and the rest of these folk.
But what I'm saying is, nobody can come bring anything to me about Storm, Armand, lead attorney, anything. These people are great people to deal with. So, and anybody else online that says they were in a relationship with me, either because it was in my Patreon or something like that, there are thousands over there. I don't know, only the ones who I'm really in relationship with. So I wanted to put that out there so that can be said out of my mouth.
So my question to you all, because I was laying it out how I think it's interesting, Storm, that this woman reached out to you after her massive meltdown over the Joe Budden interview, and there's just no way for me to unsee that. And considering the fact that I am a birth child of the Father, Son, and the Holy Daughter, I know that there is a correlation between that meltdown and the ego death Joe Budden gave her, and then this very timely reaching out to you.
I agree.
What do you think about the timing of this and what her motive was in reaching out to you?
I think that you're absolutely right. There is a death of the ego for sure, and I think that she's attempting to rewrite history. Point blank.
So Storm, did you think you didn't feel like she was being authentic in her initial email?
I don't think she has the ability to. I think that's the best we're gonna get.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? It's like trying to make a cat a dog. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yep. Wow, that's sad though. Wow.
Is it sad?
I mean, for me, it's unfortunate because I'm always looking at it from an optimistic standpoint. I just feel like that she's a Black woman. She's a Black businesswoman. She could be doing so much.
Is she a Black businesswoman?
Well, she at least a hustler. At least.
She hustler. I give it up. You got to give it up.
At least. But my point is that she can just be doing so much good, and she's somebody's wife and somebody's mom. It just ain't good. That's why it's sad to me.
But would you also agree, Larry, that some people in this life, they're just not meant to have friends? Like they're just not. You know what I'm saying? Like make the money, do the business thing, but some people in this life, I believe, they're a stepping stone. They're not really meant to have long-lasting, intimate, deep relationships. They just don't have it.
But I think there's a difference between that and somebody being dysfunctional, lacking character, being abusive in nature. Like there's a difference between kind of being a loner and a lone wolf and an introvert and being fucked up.
But I think that's what Storm was saying. But yeah, I agree with that. At least that's how I perceive it. I agree with that. I know there's people who just ain't gonna be alone, whatever. But then I know that there's people who are so deeply traumatized and so hell bent on not repairing and healing that as a result of that, then they only could be experienced in one way.
But here's my question, though. Does she believe the delusion, or does she know that she's doing the delusion? That's where I'm confused.
I think, well, from what I experienced, she always was doing it for a particular reason. Like one of the things she said to me, and she said, go live and talk about the Cardi B stuff, talk about it. And I said, well, Tasha, if I talk about the Cardi B stuff, I'm going to talk about it in the way that I think about it. And when I did, it seemed like she may have had a problem with it because I felt like she was obsessive, because that was what my commentary was. And then, because I wasn't going to talk about it because that's not really my thing. And then she mentioned something about how she is so glad that this Cardi B thing is happening. She can push it to the end because she gets to attach her name to someone who's worldwide and who will have that opportunity. So she's going to use it for what it's for. And then I remember that day when her assistant went live and said that Tasha was in the hospital or something like that. And Tasha and I hit her husband up. I said, "Is real?" Then she hit me up and said, "No, it's not real, but go live and act like it's real." And I didn't do that, but I saw other people doing it. So I don't know where that line is between knowing that she's doing certain things, that she's doing it consciously, or that she really is in the delusion of the work.
Could it be some ebb and flow of both? That there's a conscious behavior and unconscious behavior at work, I do think she leans more toward the delusional side, because Unhinged really does give me that she like gets high off her own supply. She really believes her own bullish, which is why she can be.
Well, how do you even talk to somebody like that if they're not? See, I don't get that, because I can talk to anybody. I used to literally fucking work with child molesters and killers and all kinds of shit for the state. Like, you can talk to anybody, but if they're not even in reality, then where's the conversation going?
Yeah.
Where are we? Unless you just want to scream and curse and argue. But that's a woman. I'm not gonna do that to her.
Well, you can't actually survive with someone like her unless you guys are really like, unless there's a true mutual benefit, because she still does have some remaining individuals around her. Ironically, a lot of those people are just like her, and I think there's equal investment in it at this point, because she got people around her who know where the bodies are.
True.
And the people who know where the bodies are also people who are financially dependent upon her. So there is an extreme mutuality that can kind of gorilla glue that together for the time being. But when you also look through the weaves, there also is trouble in paradise as well, because we know that Sledgehammer Head has been fired multiple times. There's been tension in that relationship. I even know you, Larry, spoke about her assistant and comments that Unhinged made to you about wanting to fire that person, and then Tony the Closer echoed those same sentiments in his breakdown with Unhinged that she also had shared with him, that she'd been wanting to get rid of Sledgehammer Head for a long time, but she doesn't know how to without it erupting like a volcano, because Sledgehammer Head is one of those people who know where the bodies are. But you really can't exist. It can't really be functional. And whatever does remain intact is going to remain intact in a dysfunctional way as well. So yeah, I don't think that it's functional. I do think, to Larry's point, that at this point the train wreck of Unhinged is so far wide across the board now. There are so many bodies in terms of breakdown in relationships of the content creators that at this point a person would be an idiot to not consider all of that data. Lovely T, Sweet Mouth for Life, you, Storm, Larry, myself. Like, there's so many content creators at this point. There's so many bodies at this point that you have to know what you're getting at this point. You have to know what it gives, and there's enough data definitely for you to decide how you want to move, if you are going to move in relationship to her. I know a lot of people were concerned about Bondi Blue, who's a content creator who was the stand-in.
She's not gonna try Bondi. She's not gonna try Bondi. She's not gonna try Bondi. I'm gonna tell you that.
I don't believe that, because Unhinged is actually sick, and all she does is try. She tried a bitch who got $400 million in the bank. She definitely would try Bondi Blue. Bondi Blue ain't got no more power than anybody else had out here in these streets, and she fucked with somebody who actually had the means to do her how she being done. So I don't know, like, what you think is the difference between Bondi Blue and her fucking with Cardi and everybody else that she done.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I was just like, damn, I don't think she will fuck with her though.
I'm surprised you can even give her that at this point. Storm, like, aren't we so far in that it's? I think Storm got some Boost Mobile. I told him about them partial payments.
Everybody calling me. Everybody calling me while I'm over here. Everybody calling me.
Okay, you back.
No. I want to damn. I don't want to be petty. I want to say this. Nah, because I fucks with Bondi.
Mm-hmm.
Shout
out to Bondi Blue.
Shout out to Bondi.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised you think that.
Oh, I don't want to be petty.
Give it up, Storm. Give it up.
I don't think she's gonna do her shoot. Well, I'll put it this way. I think Bondi gonna be around for a while. I'll say that. Let me say that.
I believe that. Mm-hmm.
Let me say that. I'll leave that.
But why you don't believe she will self-sabotage in that situation too?
Well, number one, they're definitely allies. You did. But then that still will cause some mess too. I would just say we'll see. I'll put a pin in that for now.
I'll say this. I think Bondi Blue is coming off of the tail end of all of the bodies and relationships that have been effed over. And I think Bondi Blue, probably out of everybody, probably is going to be able to move and navigate Unhinged the best way, because there's so much data now available to her for her to customize her navigation around Unhinged. So I think it'll work in this respected capacity, but I see Unhinged unhinging eventually.
I'll put it this way. I'll put it this way. If and when it does fall out, the assistant is going to have a part in that. I truly believe that.
You think
the assistant is still around? Because the assistant don't like anybody around her. So many people DM me and email me and say, you know, I love to work with Tasha, but I just couldn't deal with her assistant. So I don't even want to put their identities out there because I don't need them coming after them. But dude, so many people, from like people she was working with professionally to even personally, to just, it was like the assistant just wanted Tasha all to herself. And I'm not understanding what the real relationship there is. Like, I would think, damn, did they kill somebody and hit the body or something? Like,
I think at one point you said it was lesbianism.
You know, the streets talk. The streets talk. The streets talk. But it's just like, so if it goes wrong, it'll be because of the assistant. Because I know there was a situation where the assistant told Bondi to like shut the fuck up on camera. It was something that came off weird. Yeah, he was starting DMing me. I said, "What you DMing me for? I ain't know about that shit. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
I ain't management." Wow.
Right. So if anything, it'll be because of the assistant.
Wow. See, yeah. So it's just a matter of time, and it's just going to depend on how. It's just going to depend on what Bondi Blue wants in the situation. Will determine how long it lasts, because we know it's ghetto over there at Yep.
Yeah.
Formerly known as Kiwi Studio. It's a lot that come with it.
Ghetto.
It's a lot of ghetto shit around the situation. So I know that Bondi probably has her work cut out for her in navigating that. Is it so what happens now going forward with things? Because when I read the email, well, remember when I was telling you, like toward the end of the email, it seemed like Unhinged was leaving a slit open in the door for something to manifest, whether that be maybe some sort of relationship development of some kind. It seemed like she was kind of just leaving something open. Would you, is there any circumstance that you would entertain opening that door again?
A relationship?
Yeah. Is there any circumstance?
No. A relationship? No. I just wanted to be petty and be like, she said all that shit that still contacted me first. Like I said, they always come back to Storm. They always do. They always come back. I don't know what it is about me in this bush. No,
it's that only fans content.
You know what? You understand? You know what?
Shout out to OF. So not even in a working capacity. Like, would you ever do a project? Ever do anything professionally with her, or you don't trust? Really, I mean, like, you wouldn't want to rendezvous with her on no level at this point.
I wouldn't do nothing but an interview. That's it, and that's because that would be beneficial to me. And if we do that, we're gonna lay out everything point by point by point. And that's only because that would be beneficial to me. But other than that, It's a dub. That shit,
Yeah.
shit's dead and gone.
Dead and gone.
I just was practicing my emotional intelligence skills. I am proud of myself.
You laid it out. You did well. I thought the reply was honest. I thought it was full circle. I thought that you held accountability in that email. You also was clear about your intent. I appreciate the fact that you told her that, you know, essentially, bitch, I was doing what I needed to do, okay, for, you know, like, you know, but hey, that's the nature of the game, right? Because she does what she needs to do.
What she needs to do, exactly.
Where she needs to go. And then you tied it up real nicely at the end with I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to see this stuff from the inside out and to give me a blueprint or give me a reference
Yes.
for, you know, how to navigate as a CC, how to build my brand, etc. I thought it was well executed. How did you feel about the fact that when you listed off all the things she said about you and your family publicly, that she never even acknowledged any of that? She never said, I'm sorry.
Because that would cause her to have to be accountable, and she just does not have that. She does not have that ability. So it's just like, you did all that shit, and you think we're just gonna skip over that? Like, nah, we ain't gonna skip over that. Not at all.
Mm-hmm. Did it like? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think she can give a fuck about anybody but herself. Like, does she have the capacity to care about anyone besides herself? I don't really think she does.
Of course she doesn't.
You know?
Of course she only. Because she had all the time in the world to fix this between you and her. It wasn't even necessary for things to have gotten as brutal and to have went on for as long as they have. And then the audacity.
But see, she wanted me to come to her. Now, I am going to keep it real and say this. If I had called her and cussed her out and did all that and gave her that energy, we'd be cool today.
But
go ahead.
But isn't the audacity of her, of the video she did on her backup channel that led to the breakdown was in the spirit of pretty much reprimanding you for your conduct, but then for her to conduct herself over the past year and a half, 2 years, the way she did, isn't that like an oxymoron? Like the audacity of you to chastise me for my behavior when you acted a plumb fucking fool as a result of our breakdown.
Not only that, it was the official breakdown for me is when she insinuated she would, not accuse me of rape, but just, kind of add my name in. I was done after that. I can't fuck with that. But for me, when she did that video on her backup channel, number one, you're doxing where I live. So low key, I'm like, oh, is the bitch trying to get me hurt? Is she trying to get me shot? I'm like, well, I got guns too, so that ain't a good idea for whoever the fuck you gonna see me. So I saw right through that, number one. Then number two, it was her reprimanding me. It was, if we're just being honest, it was her saying basically, when I met you, I was helping you. So I'm never gonna respect you. But I'm a grown-ass man. Where does she think in her mind you're gonna run a grown-ass man? My own mama can't run me. Who the fuck is she? You can't control what I do. You can't control, you can't. You will frustrate yourself. You can't even keep up with me. You're a married woman with kids. I'm single. We don't have the same kind of problems. I don't want your life.
Yeah.
I like being able to go outside and skate with Usher and Chris Brown and not get my ass beat just because I got enemies.
And looking back in retrospect, with us understanding the plot against Von Ray, etc., we now know for a fact that even her publicly trying to chastise you wasn't even about you. You were actually just being used as a casualty of war, because this was really about separating Von Ray from Kibi's and everything Kibi related. It had nothing to do with how you were actually conducting yourself. It had nothing to do with the things you were saying on the podcast. It had nothing to do with all that shit she made it about. Oh, you can get cases against you, Storm. This is so inappropriate. This is da 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 da. This was all about getting Von Ray out of the fucking way.
And that's what got me too, because number one, sorry, Mom, I gotta say this. Mom was already done with them. It was the assistant that was holding on. It was because her feelings were hurt. And so now you gotta ruin this man because your feelings are hurt. But what got me is that Tasha used to ask me about my sex life all the time. In front of her husband, ask me how did you do? Did you fuck okay? Did you fuck? How was it? Like she was very much she gave, you know, very much she was with the shit.
She was trying to collect intel because she never knew why Shek preferred to eat a cupcake instead of eating her snatch. So she was trying to figure out what you was doing to these women's and what these women's were doing and how they snooches were set up, because she was trying to figure out how to get her own African to come back for seconds.
But you know, well, I don't know if you do know, but when I had first got to Atlanta, I was actually celibate at the time. I was asking about it. And she used to call me and she was like, hey, you know, I want you to go out, have sex, and then come back and talk about it on the podcast. And then I want you to go out and then go on some dates, and then you come back and then you're going to use it for content. So she was very much for me being in the streets. Until I went and really got in those streets, and then I was like,
and now, according to WAC 100, allegedly she been out here. She for the streets too, according to WAC 100.
Child, let me tell you something.
According to Miss WAC.
According to what I've been told, the streets be talking.
It ain't the only thing talking. That's for damn sure.
But I just, you know, so I was just, when she was going off like that, when she was trying to be self-righteous, even when she said like, oh, you know, you're doing this podcast for Bob, and you know, this is not a good look. I'm like, you named the podcast. You named it.
She named it Light-Skinned Ninjas.
Her and her husband, yes.
And that's what I'm saying, Storm. And that's how we know this had nothing to do with you. This had everything to do with torturing Vaughn and getting him as far away. Because she was telling me that on the phone. She was telling me, like, we need to get Vaughn. She was telling me that she wanted you and Vaughn to dissipate because you would have been Vaughn's lasting connection to Kiwi's and to her brand. So she needed to also get you out of the burning house. Because there wasn't going to be no way for this to work with him, with Vaughn having access indirectly, vicariously through his relationship to you. And that's why I say you were a casualty of war, unfortunately.
And it's wild because it's like he tried to get away from them. Oh, let's not even bring that back. That was a whole. But you're right.
Where is you and Vaughn Ray's relationship today?
We good. We cool. We talk from time to time. You know, I'm so happy for him. He's doing his podcast. He's doing his shows, doing his thing. I love his co-host, Big Sexy.
Yeah,
I think that's the perfect person to check Vaughn on his bullshit, and I love it.
Down!
Down! I love it. I love it. And I think I even texted him. I said, you better keep him around. I said, that's it right there.
Yeah.
You know, I know me and him was going to do something at first, but that wasn't, you know, meant to work out ultimately. I think this is much better.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, is there anything else you would like to leave on? Yeah, to say about the situation? Because like, were you shocked and surprised that, like, I'm sure when you got that email, it probably took the wind out of you. Like, you probably never expected, like, what?
Nah, I thought she was gonna come with some bullshit. I ain't gonna lie. I literally said to myself, I said, if I don't respond, it's another. I guess my fucking documentary is gonna be dropping in a minute. Shit, like I'm like this is. You know, you can't ignore her, girl. You gotta give her something, even if it's a problem. But I don't know, dude. I've been feeling so poetic, so philosophical lately. Like, you know, in such a good place. You know, I know you said it was Love Jones. I guess I don't know,
Yeah, you
but
can
like,
tell when there's feminine energy in a man's life because he starts to get all poetic and Romeo and Juliet-ish and get all sensitive and present. You can tell when there's feminine energy in man's life.
because even the way I was writing that out, I was like, damn, my therapist would be proud. I'm like, this is. I'm like,
So
okay,
shout out to Money Well Spent.
true. Yes,
Money
2
well
years and
spent.
thousands of dollars. Yes,
Fuck yeah. Yeah, because
yeah.
it was epic. The reply back to her, it was really, really epic. Oh, well, so speaking of that reply back, we'll probably come back and talk about that later, but I was gagging when you admitted that you practically have like your own hustle. Okay, well, see, it was Storm probably getting ready to board that damn plane, y'all. He been having Boost Mobile connections, child. But great exclusive. I was going to ask Storm too. I should have asked Larry while he was here. Would they be willing to participate in a Surviving Unhinged series if that series ever got produced, girl? If there was ever a such thing that came, girl. If all of the CCs who have been burnt to the earth, girl, by Miss Unhinged, okay, got picked up, would any of the CCs who've been burnt actually participate in a Surviving Unhinged series? That would be rather fascinating. Okay, Miss Taylor is saying, Storm, do not work with Jack Liar. I don't think that's going to happen either, Miss Taylor. I think Storm is good on all of that, yeah. I think he good, okay? But Storm also, you know, he would do what's necessary in the name of content. So who knows? Thank you, baby mama. Thank you. I'm glad Storm is happy and at peace in life. Absolutely. Vanetta says, Storm, if you want to stay in a good place, you better leave TK where she at. Storm has already stated on his platform, and he stated here today, y'all, he has no interest of friendship and relationship, etc. Like I said, anybody would be a damn fool at this point. Anybody would be a damn fool at this point. You know, I mean, it's at this point, anybody would be a damn fool, girl. Okay? Like, the receipts and the Carfax is Carfaxing on Unhinged. So, you know, if y'all see anybody around Unhinged, it clearly is because it's an incentive, child, okay? But what we know is that everybody is well informed at this point, okay? Everybody's well informed, honey. That would be a great watch. That would be off the chain. I would love to see it, okay? I love to see it, especially the days before the panorama when I found y'all, period. It's already happened. It just won't happen anymore. My God, today Unhinged has a motive. Yeah, her motive is to clean up these streets, as I said. She got humbled by getting her interview strapped. She now knows that she's disposable in the industry. She knows her mutant powers are only relative to YouTube. So now she knows that this is where her dependency is. So I think I would not look at her even aligning with Bondi Blue. Okay, now reaching out to Storm. I think she's going to probably attempt to play a little bit nicer with content creators now that she knows this is the only thing she got is here. And that would be in her best interest to do because she doesn't really have a future in Hollywood. Her ego has also been injured and bruised as a result of Joe Budden not giving a damn about publishing a conversation with her. And so, yeah, she knows this is where the money resides. She knows this is where her best efforts are going to be in sustaining her brand. So aligning with Bondi Blue, reaching out to Storm, this is all a part of the subtle rebranding and reconstructing of Unhinged, who's probably going to try to tighten up a little bit of her situations. And if you notice, Unhinged, because I did chime in for a little bit and watch her BMA special, and she had her and Sledgehammer Head and the rest of the employees there at a Airbnb that apparently, you know, was at 114 degrees and people were sweating out their goddamn bundles and shit, girl. Weaves were like falling out of their heads, girl. It was so hot in the Airbnb. I don't know why they couldn't afford an AC or couldn't afford to actually turn that motherfucker on. Okay, this is what happens when y'all be giving them partial payments. But even in that little VMA special, she was talking about how she's working on being better. She's working on being more social. Okay, so I just catch how she moving, aligning with Bondi Blue, reaching out to Storm. Okay, she's trying to tighten shit up because she now knows that all that I'm in the business to sabotage, I don't need relationship shit. She now can see that that's costing her. She now can see that the doors are closing as a result of trying to maintain this. I don't need relationships. I don't need to be able to socially navigate. I don't need to be an effective relationship creator. You absolutely do. Anytime there's business, bitch, you have to be decent at interpersonal relationships. You can't have no business in this world without relationships, without being decent at relationships. Do you think she wants to interview with Storm? No, I don't think she would have refuted it. I don't think she would have turned against it. I think if Storm would have probably, you know, sought to position her for a public discourse, she would have been here for it because she needs it. She needs the rebranding. She needs the positive publicity. That's why she's trying to clean up Storm's narrative. She's trying to clean that shit up. Okay? She's low-key tired of being the unhinged. She has an interest. There's an interest developing in her mind to be Tasha K. Because Unhinged owes the bitch $4 million. Unhinged is in bankruptcy court. Unhinged is having to pretend to be Martin Lawrence and be a comedian and be on tour for the next 6 years to pay off these $220,000 quarterly payments. Unhinged had to shut down Kiwi Studios. Baby, Unhinged is too expensive, bitch. So that bitch interested in being Tasha, okay? So she trying to clean this shit up and do some reconstructing here, do some rebranding because, baby, she ain't benefiting from being Unhinged. Welcome back, Storm. I know you got knocked the hell out of here.
No, you good. Yeah, my damn phone went dead. What was you asking me though?
I forgot what I was asking you, but now that you're here, what I can ask you is, would you ever be interested in participating in a Surviving Unhinged series?
Oh, possibly, yeah.
You would? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
People are saying...
I'm all here for the truth. You know that.
I'm all here for the truth. Period.
You know, I love me a good sit down and let's go through everything point by point and
point by point, line by line, precept by precept, baby.
Broker.
I could do my commentary, but I would have no interest in talking directly to Unhinged because I just put an iron to her ass. Easy, breezy. Now, why you taking up damn dentures in and out like that in public, Storm? Can't take you nowhere.
These are my retainers. To be fair, my braces are off. I had to.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dentist is a free man.
Finally.
But I didn't even know you had braces. I never even noticed you had braces.
Yeah, that's because I had them put them like at the top of the teeth.
The top. Oh,
yeah.
Nice. I didn't know people did it. That's very clever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the braces kind of on the side. Mm-hmm.
It'll like it'll redo your bite. It's hard to explain, but it's nice.
How long have you had braces?
Oh, I had them for like 2 years.
Oh, nice. That's not too long to get your shit straight.
I mean, straight. I had them shaved. Like the chip tooth is going. I love it.
Come on, chip tooth. I think I was watching your your backup channel, and you was talking about now you're gonna go in for your whitening and your bleaching and all this and all that. Are you considering? Well, no, I was gonna ask you were you considering getting veneers, but you wouldn't have probably straightened your damn. Well, no. Are you considering getting the veneers?
I'm gonna just keep my real teeth because most people with the veneers. I don't know. I feel like you had got some, right?
Yes.
Yours look good though.
They are perfect, Storm. I don't look horsey like these whores do. I made sure that my friend owns a dentistry in South Carolina, and so yeah, I was able to get the free 99, and then we was able to shave and just have them looking very natural and Hollywood and beautiful, and that's a part of my witchcraft on these men's. It's beautiful glow. So I recommend
about that.
I think that Larry had got his done too. He had got all of his capped, so he got his teeth done too. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So his looks good. So why most people walking around and they can't close their mouth?
Horsey is when you go overseas. Horsey is when you get your teeth done with Groupon and food stamps. Horsey happens when you're on a very fixed income. Horsey happens, when you get the cheap vibration. Okay, that Boost Mobile is boosting, girl. Storm done blacked out, girl. Them airports, child. Them airports. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna get out of here, you guys. I didn't want to keep this commentary too long. I got crowns and they look natural. Yep. Here. Oh, hold on. There goes Storm back. How it's doing?
There we go. People keep calling. Okay, but okay. Because I kept seeing people and it's like they be spitting everywhere. They can't close their mouth. I'm like, then I heard you can't eat no chicken bones or it'll like crack. I don't know.
Yeah, because they made out of porcelain and various types of glasses, all type of shit. So you want to be, you got to be careful. Because I had a friend who got his done and then he had bit into a steak and had cracked his porcelain and had to go right back in like the next week to get his shit repaired. So yeah.
I can't. Oh, wait a minute. You said you gagged that I said something before my phone had went dead. I want to know what you was going to ask me, but I can't think of it.
Gag. What was I going to ask you? Gag.
It was something I wrote in that response to her that had you laughing, I guess.
Oh, let me look at it. It'll probably refresh my memory.
Unless it was a part I said I would never hang out with them in real life. Was it that? Okay,
so that didn't stand out to me, but now that you say that, who was the they? Was it everybody at Kiwi's? Was it Sledgehammer Head and the other assistances? Like, was that a broad stroke? Really?
Like in real life, there's no circumstance where we would cross paths or anything like that. Then you got to keep in mind too, I'm a single young black man, married with kids. Where would we ever work together, be together? It just no. I would never hang out with these people in real life, and I had to tell myself I can't keep doing things or being around people just for the money. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just to this is work. But if I really wouldn't be around these people in real life, then maybe I need to find a new line of work.
Well, I don't know, because I heard, because when it comes to work, oftentimes that's the case. You end up being in a relationship with people that you wouldn't necessarily deal with outside of business.
That's true. That's true too.
It might come with the job, but I know we hear a lot from Sledgehammer Head, but it seemed like from the outside in that some of the other female employees are decent people, but is it all crazy? Is everybody like with
the main crazy is of course Unhinged and the assistant, but it sometimes Unhinged will start the shit and sometimes the assistant starts the shit. But when one starts it, the other one finishes, and they always have each other's back, no matter what, even if they're wrong.
Yeah. So the other employees aren't really problem in that.
No, anybody will tell you we like the whole team except them two.
Wow. Could there ever come a day where you and Sledgehammer Head could could have the conversation and move forward?
How can I put this? No. I'm not gonna do that. Growth.
Yes.
Growth.
Iyanla.
You want the old me? You want the old me or you want current? Which one?
I kind of want a mixture of both, but for the sake of moving forward, the growth.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think that would even be an intelligent decision to make. Also based off of her several physical, emotional, and mental threats towards me and or my family, I would choose not to be within 100 feet vicinity of the assistance. Because I feel like my life is in danger, darling. They said I was so weak, but I was a killer. I was a weak killer that fucked transgenders and gay men and old women and pastors.
Shout out to the LGBT. Shout out to the elderly. Shout out to the Christian community.
Yeah, they said I did it all. So, but nah. I'm good on that.
Wow. Okay. So not the same exchange that could happen. I know she was pretty committed to spitting in your face when she saw you.
And I would choke the life out of her.
The new Storm. Well, no, that's self-defense. So that could be the new Storm too.
They keep forgetting I ain't got a record. They gonna let me out. That'll be the first offense.
Yeah. Facts. I believe it.
I ain't on my second strike.
That part. What I can't say I'm happy y'all spoke, because clearly her motive was completely insincere and selfish, and
of course
she didn't say anything that was remotely redeeming, including apologize to you or anything. So it was really in vain, but I think it reflected your growth, how you responded, and you closing that chapter on that energy. And I don't know if you remember the Storm, but I remember at the time I was practically begging you and Unhinged. I was like, if everybody just put down their swords and put down their ego, because you guys have done so much together, y'all created so much history together. This is for y'all to go out like this is crazy. Don't let it go. Don't let it. I kept telling you, I said it's okay if y'all are in breakdown and y'all are going to part ways, but
yes,
like
you wanted that closure moment.
Like this, like close it off in a loving, amicable way. So in a way, I do feel relieved that it finally happened.
Right.
I knew this had the potential to happen then, but the kitchen was too hot. The pot was already at a boil. So nobody could see past the frustrations at the time. But considering that y'all had a professional relationship, a very public relationship, y'all were in relationship to each other, I'm glad you got an opportunity to say what you needed to say and to thank her and to call her on her shit and to wish her well.
Yeah, absolutely. We're vibrating high, we're rising above. Mm-hmm. I like this new era I'm about to go in. I'm gonna be a poet, motivational speaker.
Long as you keep that feminine energy, and you see, this is why a man needs feminine energy in his life. It makes him sane.
I feel like I was
it matures him up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is why masculine energy needs feminine energy, because it just balances out both polarities so well. So I'm going to assume that with you enjoying this space, this poetic space that you like to call it, that more than likely we're probably going to see some things develop in the future.
And most likely, yes.
Most likely going to see some
one step at a time.
One day at a time.
God is good. God is good. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know.
I know somebody's head You're making big right now for sure. I'm sure that feminine energy is smiling from ear to ear right now because the power of the
It's
snooch.
real.
The power of the snooch. Snooch energy. Okay. Well, I want to wish you a safe flight. Thank you for coming up here and giving me an exclusive.
Of course.
And let me know when you get to your destination. And you still owe me some content over here.
Let me know when. I got you.
Okay, all right. I will do. See? Airport that took Storm out again. Okay, they're here. Go get out of here and get on that plane, Storm.
Talk to you later.
That was Storm Monroe, you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe, all of that. Subscribe to Dr. Larry Reid Live. This was a great improv discussion. Larry has already forgiven Unhinged, despite her going ballistic and still ended up broke after it was all said and done. Doesn't have any ill in his heart for her, but would never fuck up with her again. Okay? And he'll be mindful of that ego, okay, that talked him into thinking he was the exception to the rule, especially when it came to somebody who already had a pattern. And I was just telling Reckless last night, because we were talking last night, and I was telling him how I don't have an ego as it relates to other content creators, but I have, after my own experiences throughout my own YouTube journey of having proximity to other content creators, I now have made a commitment to myself that I will never allow, outside of a hey and bye, I would never allow any type of association or meaningful proximity when it comes to content creators who are inherently messy, low vibrational, and whose content is literally rooted in being triggering, antagonistic, who are just obsessive, and who kind of are central in beefing. If it's a content creator who actually makes content, then, you know, I would treat those content creators accordingly. Because I used to believe when I'm going to tell you the mistake I made for all of y'all coming into the content creating space. Thank you, Tremel. Thank you, baby daddy. Hey, organically. I thought Conscious was over there getting all loved on, getting that bag, baby. What you mean? What you mean, organically? Like, what you mean? I thought Conscious was over there getting all loved on and getting. I am getting loved on, and I am getting that bag. Can't you see? I had supporters telling me the other day, girl, you just giving rich and wealthy these days, bitch. You're just giving rich. You're giving superpower. This is giving plant-based. This is definitely giving this. I'm in my rich bitch, soft rock boy era. Okay. I've learned all of my lessons, taking heed. I'm in my glory ground. Okay. I'm in my glory phase, honey. I'm in my Megan Thee Stallion era right now. But one of the mistakes I made as a content creator coming into this space, not knowing any better, is I thought that a lot of the messy content creators were just messy for the sake of content. I thought they was compartmentalized. I thought they were just content creators, regardless of their content, that restricted a certain energy and behavior to just their brand. But were actually decent people and real people who had the capacity to honestly be friendly, to be loving, to be rational in real life. And I learned that all of these bitches are exactly who y'all experience them as online. Who y'all experience them online is how much of a train wreck, diabolical, over the top, insidious, mean-spirited, shady, greedy, jealous, and envious in real life. And that's why y'all saw me do a great exodus and cut off so many content creators over the past 2 years. I just did a whoop, girl. I was knocking them whores out, girl. Moving on swiftly and professionally. And now who y'all see me in relationship to are people who are actual people in real life. Okay. All that stuff that y'all was hearing Larry talk about. Okay. So if you're coming into this space, I would encourage all content creators to stay clear of messy content creators. I'm not talking about controversial content creators, but literally messy content creators. Stay clear of those people. I don't give a damn how friendly. I don't give a damn how cozy. I don't give a damn how charming. Don't let none of the love bombing, any of that. Those people are dangerous and they are low down, and you are better off without the association, even if they are a creator who has more subscribers than you. It's not worth it at the end of the day. Let that shit be high and bye. Hey, hi, and bye. Okay? And only fuck with content creators who you see make actual content. Okay? But don't open yourself in any capacity to any of the hoes who specialize in the low grade shit. Okay? Wonderful shit. I'm going to get out of here. I got things to do. Hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday. Please thumbs up this video. Shout out to everybody. We may be back tonight. If not, definitely tomorrow. And I love you all. And yes, we have Patreon to do. Please make sure that you please make sure that you are in Patreon. Keep your notifications on, because yeah, we gonna be up in there. All right, share. Make sure that you guys share the petition for Blueface out. Okay, please sign if you want Black media to stop force feeding us this toxic ass content and participating in the exploitation of a Black woman and now a Black child. This content is not entertaining. It's just at this point abusive, and it is a mental health. It's a public mental health crisis at this point. Okay, this is the link to the petition. Please sign it. Please share everywhere. Thank you all to everybody who has been sharing the petition, been signing the petition. A lot of people reached out to me on yesterday and inboxed me on where they could sign the petition at. So I'm going to chronicle it in the description box as well. Tell a friend of a friend of a friend. I love you all, and we will see you all later. Bye.